I'll give you two examples to illustrate why it is very, very important as early stage startups to have the understanding of marketing research in your business. The two examples that I want to give you about is Google Glass, and Amazon Fire Phone. Not Firefox, not the search engine, Fire Phone. The reason that I brought these two examples is because both the products are failed. This is a gigantic companies that you can imagine. They get everything right. They do their work, the homework before they launch the multi-million projects, but these two projects are failed. The reason is when Google think about the Google Glass, the way how they think it about is like, let's bring something that you can take a picture from your eye. You don't have to have like a camera or your phone to do that task. Let's do it easy for people to do that because people tend to take a lot of pictures. And they said also, why not people is watching whatever is happening in their eyes, like literally next to your eyes. So these people, very innovative people, those are engineers, this is like high level people, create that product is amazing. Like there's no doubt about like to say, oh, okay, this product has some problem. No, this is like really calculated engineering task that they did, and it is amazing. The only problem from that product was they didn't know if the customer want that product or not. And a lot of entrepreneurs fail there. That is where a lot of entrepreneurs, like, in the entrepreneur world, a lot of entrepreneurs start startups, very excited about, very genius people. There's no doubt about how much these people are taking a risk in order to get an actual functioning business. And when you have that resource is scarce. It doesn't matter what. A dollar is a dollar. That can bring you another dollar tomorrow. So the whole idea here is basically you have to do your research before you launch any program. It doesn't matter what program it is, online, offline, whatever it is, you have to learn to do a research. And two things, probably you're going to do it by yourself. If you're doing it by yourself, you have to learn the process, how to do it. If you're not doing it by yourself and hiring somebody, you have to understand the context, because that will help you to guide the person and to have that understanding how to do that market research and to have that communication. Otherwise, you'll be lost, and the researcher want to tell you something and you want to tell him something because you have your own interest, and then you lost yourself there. So that is the reason we put this specific lecture here in this program. So the topics we're going to discuss today about will be forms of marketing research. We'll talk about a B2B market, business to business. I was able to hear some of your pitch last time when I was here, and I kind of heard like who is where and what is they're standing for. We talk about B2B market and learn about like what is the characteristics of a B2B market. When you do the research for the B2B market, what is the things that you have to focus on? And then we're going to talk about a B2C market, business to customer. That's a very different characteristics, and what do you have to focus when you have that kind of business. Usually most of the people have that kind of business, targeting to customers, not to the business. We'll talk about that. We spend a lot of time about using marketing research, how that helps you. The reason that I want to spend most of the time there is because a lot of people, as a managers, research by itself is not going to bring you profit. As a manager, what you care about is usually to get the profit. If it is your own business, you want to get money because you have operations to deal with. If you're hired by somebody, you want to see the money, where that comes from. So research, because it not really bring you directly money, a lot of people have like that negative aspect of research. So I want to show you why actually you really need to do research, and what does that mean to you, to your business, especially as early startuppers, okay? We'll talk about that, and of course we're gonna go with the steps to the structure, like how to do it, where to start, where to end, and a proper step, because you always have to have, even if it's like a small market, big business that you have, whatever you have to have that structure. So we're gonna talk about the structure, but we're gonna talk about when to do and when not to do marketing research, and then advantage, disadvantage, and we'll talk about in the end manager and researcher relationship and conflict. What does that mean? I want to talk a little bit about that one. You know, when a manager is hiring some a researcher, they have some sort of problem that they want to know to be solved. So what they want to hear usually is like what they expect. Like, you know, I want to sell this product. I want to open a new shop in London, okay? And I want you to do to me a market research in London that targeting teenage in this product. I'm a fashion person, okay? And what I want to hear as usually as a manager is the way how to do it. That is what I want you to tell me about. And as a researcher, I come and I say, show me your financial ability. Show me your marketing strategies. Show me this. I will ask you millions of questions, and I come up into some sort of decision in the end says, from the financial perspective, it's not good to go to do business in London this time. It is good for you to start in Manchester or Liverpool or something like that. Because right now your financial ability is not allowing you to go there. And the manager comes and say like, that's not what I want to hear. I want you to just do some research that says how to get into London business. So there's like a lot of misunderstanding between those two parties. So we will talk about like what is your role as a manager of your company, and what is that person you're hiring as a researcher role. What you have to tell him and what he have to tell you. And also how to communicate in the right action. And even if you are doing it by yourself, you have to put yourself in the shoes of the other person. You always have to put yourself in other, even if like when you have 2 people's organizations, 3 people's organization, whenever you do a financial task, you have to put yourself as a CFO. When you do a marketing task, you have to put yourself as a marketer. Because you can see things from the different angle. There's not going to be any bias. So if you have that structure already, whenever you grow and hire a lot of people in your organization, it's easy to follow up because you already know what distinction between those different kind of categories. So I'll talk about that also a little bit. So let's start with defining what marketing research is. Let's start with that. Marketing research is easily defined as it is a gathering, recording, and analyzing of data. Data. This is very important. What we need is to succeed is to understand and to gather data as much as we can. In the past, like early European age, it used to be called a business spy because it's literally like spying in other businesses and people. That is what it is, marketing research, because whenever we have that data necessary, it will gonna help us to determine how much price to put into our product. Okay, it will help us to determine what kind of advertisement that we can use. It helps us to determine what kind of product and what quantity and what quality to produce, for whom to produce. Are there people that's willing to buy our product there? Marketing research is going to give us an answer that we can't actually answer it by ourselves. And then we go into the data. It's going to take us some time, it's going to take us some energy, money, and resource that we have, but it will going to give us accurate information and save us the resource that we have. We talked about resource in the beginning. Everything is resource. Everything. Your time is money. Your manpower is money. Everything in your business is money, especially in early stage startup, that everything needs money from you. Because the time that you start to generate profit is not right away when you start your business. So you have a lot of costs. So you have to be knowing how to manage your money from that aspect. So that is what is marketing research means, like in general, okay? So you can probably gonna hear 2 terms, market research and marketing research with ing. If you heard this kind of thing, don't get confused. The problem, the difference between them is marketing research is like the father and market research is the son. Like take it like that. Marketing research is a broad term. When you try to launch a new product or service, you have to understand all aspects of that market, where you're going into. So you deal with like the pricing, the promotion, the place you got to deal with, your competitor. This is a broad term. When you come to do a market research without the ing form, it is like a specific aspect. I want to see how my promotion impact the sales of the product this month. You want to deal with that? It's just to go to do market research, a single one. It's a singular and plural kind of thing. So if you heard that, don't get confused, okay? So let's talk about forms of marketing research. Let's talk about first the B2B market, business to business market. So in business to business market, usually the decision-making system goes in a rational way, which means when I have a business and I am like trying to get a service from another business, what I am thinking about is how much that specific business can add up a value to me as a business somehow. If it is like reducing the cost to me, if it can increase my profit to me, I am not gonna jump in, decide, I was like, okay, this school looks like really good, I'll get a buy. No, that's not the decision-making system when you come into a B2B market. So I'll give you an example. Monday.com. If you guys see YouTube video, it always comes this advertisement about Monday.com. Monday.com is a website that helps you to arrange your project management task. It used to be like you have to email your project manager and everybody is assigned for different tasks, emailing him, emailing back him, and then like have the spreadsheet and people come, people go. That was like a must that used to be in the past. And those people who developed this app come up and then learn there's a lot of must. Let's put everything in one page. And then people can see even the progress, like you can put green, yellow, and red when it is finished. People can see that. You can see email among yourselves who's in the project. And they did that project, they come up, and then they try to sell that for another businesses. So right now, a lot of businesses across the world start to adapt that, like start to subscribe for the service. And the reason that they subscribe is because it adds value for these organizations. It gives efficiency for these companies. So their decision-making system is, I'm assuming, I'm not telling you this specific organization did this way, but people come, board of directors come, owners, the CEOs come, and sit down together and talk about this product and discuss about it, how this product can be beneficial for us, for our business. What is the value? They do maths behind it. They do a lot of work behind it before they make a decision. So when you are doing, if your business is like that, dealing with a business to business, you have to think about the decision. The first thing that you have to understand is the decision making is rational, it's not emotional. So whenever you do your product, you have to think about how my product, my specific product, can add up an actual value for this organization in terms of cost, in terms of whatever it is you think that will reduce or give a value for that organization. So it is very, very important to think the distinction between this and a business to customer B2C market. When you come to a B2C market, people are like, you know, it is just emotional feelings most of the time that people have with the product. Let's say you're producing pants, okay? Trousers. And people want to buy that trousers because it looks good. People want to buy that trousers because it is used by like a normal artists in the country, because like it's very popular in the school. So when you do your research, you have to go and study about probably what is the current culture aspect of market in that country, or the current art industry. What's like how much hip hop is popular in this country. First of all, you don't think about like what am I like hip hop and my trouser, like what is the relationship. But if you're targeting, for instance, a certain group of people, teenagers, people from 16 into 20 something, they probably influenced mostly by the artists that they're wearing some kind of clothes. So if you're not matching your product with these people, with that perception, you will lose that market. And if you're trying to introduce something very newer that people really don't know about, that would be very tough to get into that market. So here, the decision-making system in the B2C market, it is based on emotional feelings. Let's talk about what questions you have to ask in order to get that opportunity as a business person, okay? The first thing that you have to ask yourself is, what are the products and brands of my industries that are growing more significantly and why. First of all, if you don't categorize yourself from some certain industry, this is the time. You have to know which industry you are for, where you are categorized at. You're fashion industry people, you're in the restaurant industry, which industry you're from. The reason that you have to know which industry you are is because later on, there's a competition. There's a lot of aspects that you have to know how to compare yourself with others. So you have to know which industry you are. It's very, very important, okay? And the question when you ask is like, why you ask like which industry, in my industry, which are growing more significantly and why? If you can answer that question, you can adjust yourself within their line. You will get, for instance, I don't know, you're in the fashion industry, okay? And in that fashion industry, some marketers are just given, I don't know, a discount of all kind, or they're trying to promote in certain ways, okay? Or they're trying to use people to promote their product. There's a lot of techniques these people might gonna do. Unless you do research, you will never know what they're doing. When you do the research, you will see that and you can copy it, and then first of all, you're gonna cope up with these people. Second of all, you can add more value and you can sell your product. Otherwise, you'll be out from the industry. Because if you're not moving and seeing around what is going on, your lifetime in the business is very short. So that is why you always have to ask this question, always. What are the products and brands of my industries that are growing more significantly and why? Why is very important. The second question you have to ask in identifying and evaluating opportunity is, when do people buy my product or service? The question when. I'll tell you why you need a when question. Because it is mostly from an operational management perspective. When you ask why, for instance, let's think about you have a restaurant business, okay? You have a restaurant business, you thought people are gonna come lunch and dinner, okay? And it's end up to be like people not that much show up in lunchtime. People showing up in a dinner instead. You observe that. So instead of you have like 4 people who working for you. Now when you spot that thing, what you're gonna do is you're gonna hire 1 person full-time, and then you're gonna hire 3 people part-time, only coming to the evening, instead of having those 4 people. And how that help you business? Because you reduce cost by 75% when you do that. And then that money, that scared money, you can use it into different aspects into your production. Let's think about another business. You're an artist, okay? You're an artist, you're producing some stuff and sending it to be produced in China, and then you have to import it to your country. If you know exactly when is the time your product is sold, you're not gonna like import the product 4 months before your product is actually sold. The reason is if you brought that before 4 months, you have to store it. That's an expense. And whenever you store it, that's probably gonna get ruined somehow. You have to keep it somehow. That's another expense you have to add in your business. But if you know when exactly is your business is your service or product is sold or buy by your customers, you can reduce those costs, unnecessary costs, and that will improve your operational aspect of your business. So this is the reason why you have to know the when part, okay? The other thing you have to know is what is the bargaining power of suppliers? A bargaining power of suppliers, the word looks like fancy, but I will tell you a very simple way. Bargaining power of suppliers is how much power they have into you. Are they, for instance, are they gonna add up a price whenever they want into you? Because if they know that they are the only alternative to you, they will gonna add a value whenever they want. That will gonna impact your product and service, because when they add up a price, what you're gonna do? You're gonna also increase your price for your service or product. When you add up that price, customers are probably gonna say, no, we're not willing to buy this product in this price because it's super expensive. And then you lose market. Or sometimes they're gonna give you like low quality product whenever they want, or whenever they want, like they give you high quality, that fluctuates your quality. And then customers start to see your product as like, oh, this is not really what I expected, so you lose some sort of market. And that is what is important to understand your supply bargaining power. If you understand their bargaining power beforehand, you can have the control, not them. Because you're gonna see the alternatives and you try to find which suppliers to have instead of whatever you have right now. So you have to be in control of your business. You don't have to let other people to be control of in your business because you are the leader. And the last question is, what is the intensity of the competition? Competition. This is your competitors. Because if somebody offers lower price than what you do, people are gonna go there. Why should they have to be with you? Like, especially for the products like doesn't have that much strong brand. Like, we're not talking about here Ferrari or something that people already know. But in your stage, where you are standing right now, it is very, very important to understand the competitors and then go with them, okay? The second thing that helps you marketing research is to analyze marketing segment and select a target market. This is a big two words in marketing itself. Market segment. Here I give you an example of a drink business, a beverage business, okay? To just give you the explanation of what is a target market, what is segmentation in general. Think about the drink market. That is a lot of things, like all these diet products, the soft drinks, there's a water, there's a mineral water, there's alcohol, there's an energy drink. Also, like, you can name it, like, millions of products. So you want to enter to this business. You have some certain idea in your mind to get into this business. But you have to learn if you have a market for this, wherever you want to do it. If you want to do it in Athens, you have to learn like how people in Athens are acting. For instance, I'll give you an example. If people in Athens are suddenly health conscious people, and a lot of Athens people are like, I don't know, at least I can talk about Tel Aviv. Like, a lot of people in Tel Aviv is youngsters that goes from all over the country, and the population is highly young people. And those young people tend to be usually want to be in the shape, they exercise, they do this. Like, there's a certain aspect of that people over there. And when I'm thinking about marketing a certain product for these people, what I might have to do is go there and then learn what is this people and where are these people up to. Okay? So based on that, I can segment the market into this. What happened here is like really thirsty people, for instance, is in this segmentation. As people usually who are very thirsty and that they want to drink, people then run. And this kind of people are not really thinking about like, okay, let me sit and having a coffee and then have it. This is not what they do. They really want to get something. They want a water, cold water, or cold Coca-Cola or something, want to drink it and want to go. That is what usually it is. Or people hold the sugar kind of segmentation. Hold the sugar segmentation is talking about all these people right now thinking about having no sugar in their drinks. These people are not thinking about having a water only because of the health issue. No, that is not the case. In this case, people are still want the Coca-Cola. People still want the Pepsi. But their understanding is they don't like a specific aspect from the product. So they are focusing on drinks. When you think about health-focused people, they are not drinking Coca-Cola Zero because they're really health-focused. So what they do is probably they're going to have like a vitamin water or some juice. So this is a different kinds of market. So when you're having this understanding of, I want to be in this industry and want to open this business, you have to go and see this segmentation. Where is the people? You have to know and learn how to segment your market differently based on the people's interest. If you know that, it will help you to target a specific customer and your product could be valuable. You can sell more. The problem in the past, for instance, is like, there's a certain companies in the world and they do like a mass production, they do mass marketing and then they sell it because there was few companies in the world. These days in our world, you have to segment your market. And then you have to choose a specific target market. You're in drink market, okay. I see a lot of people in this town is young and they really health conscious people. That is the research result that I get. When I did my research, I will go with like a healthy focused drinks in order to succeed in that town. Otherwise, I will fail in that town. So you should know how to segment your market, and that helps you really, really, really to have a success in your business. So marketing research helps you to do that, to have the segment and then to select your target market. The other thing marketing research help you is to plan and implement a marketing mix. This is a very important topic in marketing. Very, very important topic. You have to meet this 4 P's, that's how it's called. A price, a place, a product, and a promotion. These 4 things are very, very important for your business success. Let's talk about price a little bit, okay? When you do your price, what you're gonna do, when you set up a price for this product, for instance, I want to price this thing, and I say, okay, all the costs associated with this, raw materials, human power, everything that I used, I'm gonna add up in this one, and then I'm gonna add my profit into it. I'm gonna add, if there's a retailer that goes around with it, we're gonna be added, and then the tax and for the government we're gonna be added into it, and then that makes a final price. So that is how you price in very short term your products. The problem is when you want to market it into a specific town, a specific area for a specific market target, it could be young people, it could be old people, whatever your product is intended to go, you see this product is not sold. People are not buying your product. And you go and learn before you set, the problem is because you didn't learn and understand what is the purchasing power of your customers. You have to learn the purchasing power of your customers before you set up any price. Because sometimes you go to the shops, you go around, you see like this dress is like 5,000, and you say like, this is overpriced, I don't want to buy this product kind of stuff, because it is too much for you. People are very sensitive. Nobody don't want to spend money in something expensive or something that doesn't make sense to them. Even if they have the money, people still don't have to want to buy that product. So you go and you learn how much is these people are willing to buy for pay for certain products. The way how you do it is like things that you might never think about. You go and do research about like the median income of that town. Think about Athens, okay? You have to go and learn about the median income of the people in Athens. You have to learn about the unemployment rate in Athens. You have to learn about after you chose the targeted market in terms of age or in terms of sex or that kind of stuff. You see like, okay, how many people are there? How many young people are there in that town? How many old people are there in that town? All this demographic data that you don't think that is really related to your business, because in order to sell shoes, that's not the thing that you think first, to think about what is the unemployment rate of that country. But that really, really impacts in your business, because if people doesn't have that purchasing power, no matter how much your product is really cool, people are not gonna buy it because they don't have money. So, but when you learn about it before you set up your price and you see, oh, for instance, this bottle is $10. I want to sell it for $10 because it cost me like $6 of the cost is $6, and I want to like get a $2 out of it as a profit, and then there's like a $1 that is like tax and this and that is what makes it $10 to my product. If I see the product, people probably like my product, but the price is the factor that makes them not to buy my product, I will go and revise stuff. How do I do that? I will go and then like break it down all the costs to see, okay, how much is raw material? Where is the raw material I imported from? For instance, let's say I imported the steel, whatever this material is made of, from Germany to make it more quality stuff. And that cost me really high price, $3, okay? And I was like, okay, let's see an option to decrease that cost. Let's see the other option, what Italy offers, what China offers. I can get this raw material with $1.50 or $1. And that reduced my cost by half. And then I still got my profit and everything that I want, but I go and sell this product at a lower price that can be affordable for my customers, so I'm not losing a customer still. But if you're not doing that research, you come up and say like, what is wrong with the people? I'm like, I did all my best. This is really amazing product, and people are not coming to buy. We knows what we knows about our products, but we don't know how people will perceive that product. And that is what is important. Because if people don't like it, people will never ever buy things that they don't like. It doesn't matter how that is like super innovative. I talked to you about Google Glass. What is wrong with Google Glass? Google Glass is an amazing product in terms of its innovation. But people don't want to buy that because that's not what they want. You can't force people.
No.
And the only way you can learn about what they think about is when you go approach them and ask them this question. What do you think about this product? What do you think about this price? And the only way you can do it is you spend, in order to make money, when I do my finance classes, this is what I'm saying in the beginning of a lecture. In order to make money, you need money.
Yes.
This is how you're going to make business.
That's only.
I'm talking about today. Okay, what I am thinking about today. Things change. People change. Their perception change every time. People income change every time. Like people probably afford today, like I don't know, $5,000 every month. Economic situation change and people income decrease. There's a lot of factors that change every time, and then that impact your business. The thing is that you never think about, like a riot in the middle of like Greek because of the political aspect, whatever happened there. That impacts your business directly or indirectly.
Yes.
So how's you gonna know about it? How's you gonna know about people's purchasing power unless you do research and see like what is their income standing these days? Or any cultural aspect, like suddenly rap music become very popular in Greek and then people start to dress that way. What you gonna do? How did you know if you don't do that research? You know what I mean? That is the reason. It was like, it is essential aspect that a lot of entrepreneurs miss doing the research because it's not directly bringing you any profit right away. It takes time, it takes energy, and people miss. Another thing that you have really to understand, okay? Where to open your business, even if it's online business, you have still target market, okay? When you do the global stuff, wherever like try to promote it, ask you like which region you want, right? So you have to understand where to open your business, and you have to learn, like I can give you a simple example, like you walk around some street, not your neighborhood you know very well, other street, and then you see like there's no pub, but you see a lot of young people, and then you say like, oh my God, this is a perfect place to open a pub, because I didn't see any pub in the entire street, so I want to open that. That is your perception, because that's your observation. If you didn't do research and you just actually open bars there because you assume you are the only one and you can get a lot of money out of it, what happened is you stand there and then, I'm just giving you a scenario, so it's not a real story, okay? And then you say like, nobody comes after you open your bar. And I was like, next day, nobody comes. The second day, nobody comes. And you say like, what is wrong with people? I see a lot of youngsters, but they always not come to drink in my pub. And then when you ask people tell you about like, oh, in the entire this street, people live in with some psychological and like some philosophical understanding of like, they don't like drinking alcohol, but they like smoking wood. So this is the kind of people who live in this street, so they don't want to really drink, okay? What you gonna do? The whole thing is messed up. But if you can kind of understand who's living there, what is their religion, this is things that marketing research answer you. Things that you don't even think about that could be related with your business, okay? With a political situation, you say like, what I care about the politics at all, like, that's not me, I'm a business person, but it still impacts you. The global financial system impacts you. If something happened in New York, your business will be impacted somehow. Because people are gonna have a less purchasing power, they're probably gonna lose their work. You know, there's a lot of things that you have to consider. So as a business people, like why people say like business people are not sleeping? Because you really are busy every time tracking every aspect of the business. Okay? The product or the service, of course, that is the thing that you have to do. You have to understand if people like your product or not before you launch it. Otherwise, you'll be a Google Glass kind of story. The promotion is about like, you launch a promotion many times. Right now these days is easy because you can use YouTube, you can use all the Google ad stuff, you can use the Facebook in the low cost, and then they give you the tracking and all the information there. But you have to understand how much that specific advertisement add a sell in your product. You have to go and see and read that data. These days it's more easy because you can like literally get that data in Facebook or in YouTube, wherever you advertise. They give you all the graphs and everything.
True.
But it wasn't that easy before. But even if now this is easy, you have to know how to read that data and use it. Sometimes your promotion send the wrong message for some certain cultures, so certain people that you thought that would be good. And then if you're not really tracking that up and then see it, you're probably gonna lose market because you just messed up with some culture and then you try to say like A and then they understand it's Z.
Yeah.
So you have to really track that one and do research. That's the only way you know like what other people are thinking, by asking them. Okay. Okay. Another thing that marketing research helps you is to analyze marketing performance. It is very, very, very important for you as a business person to understand and analyze your marketing performance for two purposes. I'll talk about these two purposes. You have to compare this year marketing share in comparison with the last one. The first thing that helps you is because you have to understand how your market is growing. If it's not growing, where you're standing from last year, or if you're like doing your thing on a quarterly base, you have to see like how from the first quarter to the second quarter how your market is changed, okay? Or yearly base and whatever. You have to learn that data in order to improve your business. Otherwise, if you're like kind of person who wake up like literally after like it's too late to fix your market, you're out of the market. You lose. It's not because your product is not innovative, it's not because something, but you didn't really track what is going on in your business, in your industry, and everything that's related to your business. So it is very important to do that for your sake. The other thing is to get investments, to get money. The money aspect is very, very important. As an investor, what I care about is not how much you pitch me well your business. It is the first impression thing. When you know how to pitch very well, that is the first impression. I would say, now you get my attention. That is it. That is the purpose of pitching. But really, when you come into, as an investor, when you try to invest money in somebody's property, I will ask you about what is your marketing performance. Give me data that I can read. I don't want to waste my money. I will ask you to give me your financial statement. I want to see your balance sheet. I want to see your income statement. I want to see your liquidity. Because if you don't have a liquid cash and all your assets are fixed, I know that sometimes you're going to run out of money. So your business will fail. As a person who want to invest, because why from the first place, why I have to invest my money into your business? Because I want to make a profit also. So I'm a business person also when I come to invest. So collecting this kind of data will help you to get that fund you want, because it's not enough to pitch. It's important to pitch, but it is not enough to pitch. Pitching is the first step to get the first attention. People to say, now I got your attention because it sounds like very interesting whatever you're doing. But afterwards, I want to see how is your structure? Your business is structured. It doesn't matter like two people's business. I don't mind. It could be one person business. What I want to see is like that person vision, where they want to go with it, how they're structured it. Like, you have to build a skeleton, and then you can put the flesh whenever you have it. But if you don't have a skeleton and you just wandering around, why should I have to waste my money? Because that is money. A dollar matters. Because that is the thing, like you have to have the structure in terms of the business. That's why I'm saying like whenever you do research, put yourself in that person's shoes, and whenever you're a manager or finance person, put yourself in that shoes, because it's very important. There's that different aspects. It's not always matching. So you have to understand all aspects. I don't know if you guys did MBA degree. A lot of MBA degrees are based on giving you understanding of everything. You learn a little bit about management, you learn a little bit about marketing, you learn about psychology, you learn about this. The reason that they want to do that for MBA people is like the whole idea of having an MBA is to go to the school and manage some business. And you have to understand everybody. When people come to you and talk to you about something, you have to know what they're talking about. If it sounds like gibberish for you, we're going to lead the whole business to failure. So you have to communicate with that one, okay? What you said, it is a continuous process, because your business is also a continuous process. You're not producing once and then you're gonna say,
It's a
okay.
learning experience.
It's a learning experience. You always have that state. People perception change. Remember, people have emotion. When you market for some people, you're marketing people like me, like you. Whatever you think, whatever you believe about certain aspect a week ago, change it right now. I don't know. Whatever you think about Israel changes since you come to Israel, because before you come to Israel, you have your own perception about Israel, and you come to Israel and you see Israel, and then you have that a different experience of Israel. So your perception changed. And in market is the same thing. People perception change. This time they like your product. The other times they don't like the product. The other time they probably like other products similar to you that have a different future. So if you learn that feature, what is the other competitor add up in there, you can cope up with that one, and then you still can survive in the market. But if you're not doing that, you're gonna fail. It's action. You always getting information. You always getting a feedback. You always getting a feedback from people. Either you do like a large scale research or a small scale research. We'll talk about that, what it means. You always keep constantly getting the feedback from a customer, and I don't know if you know that term. Customer is the king. That is not just a term. That's really, really a term. Your customer is the one that buying your product, the one who spent money into your product. So you have to keep them really well, like really, really well, because the moment you lose one customer, I will tell you the effect of losing one customer. You did something wrong and one customer lost in your business. Okay? What happened is that customer went to his wife and tell her about his bad experience with your product. 2 people now you lost. Okay? And he goes to his mom and his dad, and he's gonna tell them. And then she's gonna go and tell her mom and her father and her friends. You lose at least 10 people with one transaction.
No, the rule is 1 to 10.
11. 11. So 11 people. You see, it is. You think about like 1% and person is not that big deal, but that's a really big deal.
And we say the good reference, that is a bad reference. The good reference is 1 to 2, so 3.
Yep.
So 3 people get good reference, but 10, 11 get bad one.
Good.
That's
So
how MBA
you get another one. Okay. So 3 tips that I want to give you before this is and this is stage. A successful marketing research have to have these 3 things. Please remember. The first thing is it have to be timely and relevant. I already said that because you guys asking me a question, but I'm gonna repeat it because it's very, very, very important. It should be timely. Why it should be timely? Because marketing research is not a perfect science. We're not talking about a biology lab or a chemistry lab here in our life. We're talking about human perception, their understanding of something, their emotion, everything is influenced by something, and they keep changing. You will never know. That was good if you know what people think. That is not how the world works. Nobody knows what people think. It is very, very tough to understand what people think. It is not a perfect science. That is the reason you have to keep doing it over and over again.
Especially women.
People, I don't know, I don't want to get into that, but yeah.
You never know.
But, okay, people got experience. But I would say marketing research is not an actual science, so you have to keep doing that. It should be timely manner. Whatever is true today is not true tomorrow, because things change every day, especially in our world right now, what's going on. So it should be timely and should be relevant. Like, there's a lot of data in the world you can get. Like, it should be relevant to your industry, it should be relevant to your business specifically, it should be relevant to your town, wherever you do it. Even if you do an online business, it should be relevant to that target market you're focusing on. It should be relevant. Okay? So, and the third one that I really, really want to talk about is you must gather facts. Whenever you talk about something, you have to have a fact. No assumptions. That is what kills a lot of people. That's what killed exactly Google and the Google management team. Because they assume who will say no for a product that is actually into your eyes. You can take a picture and then you can see whatever you want. It's a cool product, very innovative. Who will say no for that? I say like, okay, let's do it. Let's
So
do
where do
like
they
production.
fail?
What's that?
Where do they fail?
Because they assume. They didn't. People didn't like it. At the end of the day, people didn't like it.
Why?
Because, for instance, the things that they didn't think about is, in that specific case, like, I'm sitting here, okay, talking to her, who's wearing that glass, okay, having a camera pointing into her. They didn't think about, like, the fact that, like, is people really going to like that?
The social impact.
Yeah, but they didn't know about that. They really think about it. How they know about that? If they were asking people, what is that?
They were just thinking about the
They were
food factor.
thinking, they thought about like the fact that you have like everything in your eye. You can take a picture. You can like say, I don't know, Google take a picture, and they're gonna take a picture, and then there's nice stuff, you know. The other thing they didn't think about is like, I don't like wearing glasses. The only time I wear glasses when I'm driving. And it's like there's a lot of people like me who really don't like wearing glasses. But they didn't think about that aspect. I'm telling you, the product itself is not a problem. It is innovative. It is amazing. It's like the idea of having everything in like literally in your eye is cool. Like why don't you have to like have your laptop or like your phone to see something? The idea was great. The idea is not a problem here. The problem here is what the customer wants. And they assume people will be okay sitting down in front of other people having a camera pointing at them. No, that's an assumption. That's wrong. Not everybody likes to have a sunglass going around everywhere. The design itself. People, like whenever you buy glass, you go and see brands. Like you say like, oh, this brand is like, I want this big one, I want this one. There's a lot of factors there that people want. And if you didn't do that research and understand where people standing in that one, you lose your product. And even if you're Google, you know, they say like, we Google, everybody knows us, so it's easy to add us like another product in our line and that'll be okay. No, that's not gonna be okay. You have to learn the customer, what they want, how they want it. It's not gonna work that way, okay? So, but you have to gather facts. Always, when you do a lot of problems after people doing an actual research is people do research still, but they are not gathering the facts. They go with all the information or the rumors or the assumptions, and then they end up that leads you into a wrong decision. People say like, oh, the research is a problem. The research is not a problem. The problem is the data that you're using because you're not using the facts. Okay? Okay, I have to really go fast in this one. So, yeah, a small business owner like you guys. There is some questions you always have to ask yourself as a small business owners. And this is some of the questions you have to ask yourself every time when you do something. The first question is...
We get the presentation, right?
What is that?
We are getting the presentation.
Do you want to get a presentation?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I thought it was a standard thing, that's right.
Hey, cool.
You have to arrange that we get all the presentations, please. I'm joking.
Talk to you right after.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
one is mine,
Okay,
so
have you
I
sent
can
it
share it
first?
with you. I don't mind to share with you.
Okay.
So I can do that.
We ask from everyone in this application.
Okay, cool. So the first question you have to ask yourself is, am I offering the kind of goods or service my customers want at the best place, at the best time, and in the right amount? This is the three things you have always to ask yourself. Best place, best time, because time matters, and the right amount. This is the three things that you really have to ask. The second question you have to ask yourself is, are my prices consistent with what buyers feel the product value is? We talked about that. Don't overprice your product. Even if people have money, money is a very sensitive topic. Like, you know yourself. Ask yourself, like, am I willing to buy this product and this amount of money because of I don't know what? You have to really think about that aspect. Because money matters. Sometimes people have the money, but they see this is overpriced, they're not gonna buy your product. So always ask that question, okay? The third question you have to ask is, are my promotional programming works? We talked a lot about promotion. Is that working? Is that ruining my reputation? You know, because not having only promotion is not actually helping you to promote your business. But you have to see what is the impact of that promotion. Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be bad.
Yeah.
If it is a bad, you have to stop it beforehand by doing the research before it ruins the entire image of your business. Because once your business image is ruined, it's really difficult. You can rebrand it and that and this, but it is very, very difficult. So why don't you do it before instead of like waiting to that point, you know? The other thing is, what do customers think of my business? What are they thinking about my business? It's always important to ask that question. It doesn't matter what you think about your business. You always think, for sure, like your business is great. But think about what your customer are thinking about your business and learn them, treat them, and go talk to them in many ways. That is important. And the other thing is, how does my business compare with my competitors? Okay? Because the competitors are always coming in expense of your business. Okay? An expense of your business because you're competing for the same customers. That is the thing. When you do your business in the same industry, you're competing for the same target market. So you always try to do anything that you can do in order to bring that portion of the market into your business. And the competitors are not also sleeping. They're also doing the same thing. So you have to learn what they're doing, what the tricks they are doing, what are the changes they are making. Everything matters for your business, for your survival. So you have to do that a lot. Okay? So why to do marketing research? I think we talked about it. Like this whole thing that we talked about until this point, from the beginning until this point, is because of all those reasons. But I want to leave you with one very important point here. People will never buy product or service they do not want. Don't assume because your product is very innovative, because your product is like outstanding, I don't know, whatever you say, people will buy it. If they don't want it, they're not going to buy it unless you force them. That's a different story. But people will never buy your product unless they like it. So don't assume, go and ask what they want, okay? Before you do anything. Okay, now the process. We're gonna run into the process. We don't have that much time. We're gonna run into the process. It's a step-by-step process, how you have to do it. There's two things that in the marketing research. One is a simple way of doing it. The other one is a complex way of doing it. A simple way of doing it is like just having a questionnaire and having like something in your receipt or something like that, and then ask a customer what they think. If it's an online business, you have like this section to say like, leave your comment, you have those stars and everything. You have to learn about what they do constantly. That is a simple way of doing it. The complex one is when you're actually trying to launch a new product or service. Like I want to sell this thing. I have to understand everything regarding this phone. How much people like, oh, the promotion aspect of it, the price aspect, the place aspect of it, all the circumstances that is dealing with this phone, I will do it. So that is the complex marketing research. There's a step to follow. Unfortunately, that's the way how it will work, and I think that's a good thing. Like there's a step that you can follow. We go to the steps right now. Step 1 in marketing research: define marketing problem and opportunities. Okay, let's talk about the problem, marketing problem. There are certain things you have to. It could be. I'm sorry. So this, for examples, could be a problem to your business. Every business have a different problem. So I'm not gonna try to give you a formula here to say like, oh, this is a problem. But this is an initial point for you to think about what could be a problem. The first one could be awareness of your company on its product and service is low. It's a problem. People don't know that much about your business. And then the opportunity is you want to sell the product and service, but nobody don't know that much about. So this is a big problem. You set an opportunity. You say like, I want to solve this problem and then sell actually my product. So you set up that in your mind as a manager. Or the other thing could be like, the marketing is familiar with your company but still not doing a business with you. Oh, there's a fear there. People are afraid of you probably. People, you don't know why, well, like they know your product already, but they actually not doing a business with you. And you want to do business with other people, so that's how you grow up. So this is the kind of problems you have to think about, anything. And then you have to set up an opportunity that you want at the end, want to get it out of it by solving that problem, okay? The second step is set objective, budget, and timetable. Let's talk about a little bit about objective, okay? Set an objective is taste the possible cause and effect relationship. That is what it means by setting an objective. Now you do have a problem, okay? You say this is a problem in my company. And then you say like, okay, because of this problem, people don't like, I have a bad reputation, okay, that's a problem. Just let's assume. I have a bad reputation in my business. People really don't like my product for some certain reasons. And I say like, let me change the packaging because I want to rebrand myself, okay? When you say that, you will go and do a cause and effect relationship. The fact that you are doing that, if that will increase your sale. Because you have to understand, otherwise there's no reason to do it. So there is where you set the objective and say like, okay, let us see the cause and effect for whatever I'm intending to do in order to solve that problem. So you set an objective. It's very important to set an objective, okay? And the same step the second thing you do is set a budget. Now you ask the question, I'm back with the same question. Where does the money come from to do research, okay? From your marketing department. From your marketing department, 2% of your marketing department money should go to research. If you're launching a new business or product, 10% should be budget for your research, okay? So it matters, like if it is a regular one, 2%, if it is a new, 10%. I can talk about the steps to create a very simple budget. The step to do a simple budget is, excuse me, the first thing you have to do is, this is not an actual budgeting course. I do have that one, that's like a very complex one, but the simple budgeting that you have to do here is, first of all, you have to list your activities. What does that mean? We talked about the same problem, the same topic that I discussed about. You want to change the branding, the packaging because you think your reputation is bad. That's the problem. The changing the the packaging is an objective. And now, when you come into the budgeting, you list all the things that you do. You're probably going to need like a designer. You need that raw material to use in order to do this. You probably want to taste it before actually sell it in large. You want to know like what is the people's reaction is. So that costs you a lot of money. So you have to list every activity you will do in that process. And then the second thing you're going to do is you're going to cost each item. You go do a real-time must to see how much the designer costs you, how much this. Like you can get that information and put it in the money because it's money. It's like 50 cents matters, you know. So you list that and then you cost each item. Of course, you're gonna put it in a spreadsheet. Everything that you do, you have to put it in a spreadsheet. You don't have to have like a big database, okay? Like a big organization if you are 1% or 2% organization. But there is a way how to do it. Like you can have like a Google Drive still, and then you have like to have a folder for marketing, for accounting, whatever you do in your business. The reason that you need that is because sometimes if it's 1% business, tomorrow you're gonna hire somebody when you grow up. And then people don't know what you did like a while ago unless you record it. So that's the reference point. It could be like you still have somebody, but that person probably gonna leave the old work, and then other new person will be hired. How they will know what happened before? So you have to put all the data, and you have to have the structure. That's the thing. People say like, I'm a small business. We're only 2 people. It's okay. We'll grow. That's the whole objective. You're dreaming to grow. You're not dreaming to go lower. So you have to have the structure, and then if you have that structure, you can build up in that structure when your business grows. So it is very, very critical and important. Now you don't need a database, like you don't have to spend a lot of money to build a database because like, you know, that's right, you're a small business. But let's start with a Google Drive and have like a folder for your all departments and see the transaction and everything. And then when you grow up, you're gonna have your own database and transfer that data. That's easy and simple, okay? And then the last thing you have to do in terms of budgeting is you have to justify it. You have to sit down and say like, this much will gonna cost me the designer. And you have to sit and then talk to yourself or the team that you have, whatever it is, and see if that is the right thing to do. And you have to do that. Timetable, I want to talk about 2 aspects when I talk about timetable. The first thing is like when it actually starts the research itself and when you're gonna end. You have to set up a time, like, you know, otherwise you're gonna do it whenever you want, and then like, you know, if you have a team and people are not really following that, so you have to have a time, like the first phase I will get it completed up to this month, to this time. The second phase I will do it until this period. The third step I will gonna do it in this period. The end will be here, the results will be there, and then the production will be here. You have to have that really structured. It doesn't matter you have a 1% business or 2 people business. The business culture have to develop in every stage. You have to aim big.
You have to have that business culture. You are business people, you have to act like a business people and have to function as a business people also. The second aspect of timetable is when is the good time to do your research? Let's think about your business, you're a postcard business, you're an artist, you're designing postcards for holidays, okay? People really don't remember you before holidays. Like, it's not something that comes in your mind as a customer, like to think about a postcard. But when it is near to holidays, you start to think about that. I was like, oh, I have to buy for my cousin, I don't know what, it's like a postcard. So that is a good timing to go and do research, because people are aware of what is going on at that specific time. So based on your business, you have to understand when is the best time to do research in order to get more responses and to use that data, because the whole thing that you need is the data itself, okay? It is very important. The step 3 is selecting research type, method, and techniques. Now you're gonna select research type. Now you know the objectives, the problems, everything. You have the cost. Now you select this techniques. There's three techniques, there's 3 research methods that is used in every research. It's not only for business, this one. This is like a general research methods, but everybody is like meeting it up into their interest. For business people, like the psychology people doing it as a way, biology people doing it as a way. For us, the business people, we use this one, for instance, exploratory research. We use it whenever we're trying to launch a new business because we need more explained data in order to do that. So in the other science, they do it like to investigate some unknown subject. That's how they do it in science. But we do it here when we are actually doing a new business, okay, or product. And there's another one, descriptive research. When we have a certain marketing problem, if you want to pinpoint that specific problem, you use this one. You can read more about it from a business aspect of it in Google. That's like, you can literally get it. The other one is a casual research. It is like, if there is a specific factor or cause that affects your market, you will choose this one, okay? So this 3 of them by itself could be a course, a huge course, like a semester-long course, but you can read and see about it. What I want you here to get is like to understand the existence of these things and then do more your work afterward, okay? Because I don't have that much time. I don't want to take a time from your break also. Other thing is research types. There's 2 types of research. The first one is a primary research. This is the things that you do, what I said about, like especially test marketing. That's the one that you talked about. You're gonna produce some specific data and you taste it in order to see their reaction in this. That is where the money goes, like the 2%, the 10% that I talked about, that's where it goes, and that is what you mean by that. There's another techniques like direct questionnaire or a call or a survey. This is a thing that is designed specifically for our product and service, so that we're gonna cost us a lot of money in order to do that. So this is the primary research that we can use. The other thing you can use is the secondary research. Secondary research data is done by other people's, but it's still relevant for us as a business. When I talked about income, like median income of some town, or the number of users in that town, or whatever, this kind of data, you don't have to count people anymore. You can go to the Census Bureau, you can go to the municipality, you can go to the government agencies, and then you can access this data. Always there is a data. But in secondary research, the one thing that I want to stress out very much is the source. You know, we're in a good time. We have a Google, we have all the search engine, amazing. You Google something, you have like, I don't know, 1 million results within 20 seconds. You see like in the top bar, there's like the thing. But the problem is the fact that even if that we have a lot of data, it comes up with problem. It comes up with a lot of trash with it. So we as a user, we have to know how to filter that data. Even for a news, like whatever happened right now in Israel, if you read it in CNN and if you read it in some random website, it's a different story. I usually personally, even for news and stuff, I go to something that trustworthy, like websites, in order to access that, because data is misleading you in many aspects. So it is very important to figure out where the data is from. In this kind of scenario, if you want to know about like the number of people that this is that, go to the municipality data, go to the research centers, go to like known organization to your country, to your place, and go access their data and shape it into your benefit. Okay? It is very important. Step 4 is designing. Now you pick everything. Now you have to design it, because it's not gonna come like designed right away. You have to shape it in the way that how it works for you. There's a lot of things you can do, like the survey, come to the phone calls, you can do the taste marketing. There's a lot of things. Many people using questionnaires. So I'll talk about questionnaires a little bit, like what you have to really make sure when you create a questionnaire. The first thing that I want you to do is please keep it simple. Don't use this fancy words. Understand who are your customers are. Like if it's like old people, understand what they think, how they speak. And if it's like a young people, you're probably gonna use like this fancy word. People are not gonna understand what that means. So you have to like really understand your customers. If there are people using slang, use that slang. They will understand it better and they can answer your question better way. And the other thing is have an instruction. Don't assume people will understand things what you write. I usually in my office, whenever I write email, I call somebody who's like, can you come and read for me, proofread it? It's not, the reason is like, I know what I want to say, but I don't know if people really understand what I'm trying to say. So it is good always to have that instruction and things, because people are not knowing what you mean. You know what you mean. The other thing is, begin server as a general question and move forward to specific questions. Don't do it the other round. The other thing is design a questionnaire that is graphically present and easy to read. It should be easy to read. It shouldn't have to be like a lot of words, sentences, and that. So it's very important. Step 5 that I want to talk about is collecting data. And this is step that what I want to talk about is professionalism and ethics. Very important. Like, you know, those people's like when you try, like you go and ask your customer about like, what do you think about this and this stuff? You ask him a question, and then he told you what he thinks, and then you start to argue with him like, no, that's not what we were trying to say. That's not what we mean. You bias the information. You have to be very professional. You want to know what they're thinking? Let them speak. You don't have to interrupt these people. You don't have to like assume what they say. Even if that's not really fitting what you want to hear, still put it in that way, whatever they say. And then try to work somehow how to fix that problem from their perspective. Because at the end of the day, they are the one who pay, not you. And this is the people that you really want to keep up with, okay? Step 6 is, now you have a data. The step 6 is organizing. We're gonna finish in 5 minutes, okay? I'm sorry to take a 5 minutes from your break, but we're gonna finish in 5 minutes. Organizing and analyzing the data. Now you do have the data, boom. Okay, think about it this way. 5 questions. We take a simple questionnaire, okay? 5 questions you ask. You send it for 100 people, okay? When you return back, it is 500. And then this is a lot of data. Everybody's different opinion and this one and so on and so forth. So here, what you have to do is the data needs to be cleaned, okay? That means they have to be coded, it have to be edited. This is very important to do that. There's 2 aspects that you have to focus. The first thing is you have to look for a common opinion that maybe continued together, that can be counted together. So look for that. This is the way how you're gonna deal with data. The other thing you have to do is look for data that focus immediate marketing research. I'm gonna finish in like 5 minutes, okay? This is what you have to do, because immediate market needs is very important, because that will change your people's perception and opinion to your market. So you have to address it right away. And then look into that. This is the way how you can code and understand data, okay? It's very important. Boom, the last step. The last step in this one is now you do have the data, now you cleaned it up, now you understand what the problem is. You definitely have to present it, not only to yourself, and also for your employers, for your partner, whatever the business people is. Because every employer have to be in the same page, have to understand the changes that have to be made. People have to be in the same page in order to function in the same way. And also you have to record it, you have to put it in that database we talked about, Google Drive, whatever you want to think about it. Because the reason that you want to put that there is things change. Employers come, go, and things change. People have to go back and read that data. So this is the reason. And also, of course, you have to train your employers. You have to make these people understand what it is. People have to be really very careful about their customers, protecting them, because that's like a diamond kind of thing. Easy ways to get data: see your sales record, you see compliments, receipts, analyze the return items. That is where you can get like a lot of data, even without doing a big research, okay? This is the tips that I want to give you back. Look competitors' price. This is like a data that could be really helpful for you to adjust your market by not doing too much work even. So look really all this stuff in order to do this, okay? Oh, determining when to conduct marketing research and when not. Okay, if you have a sufficient time available, do it. If you don't have time, don't rush it, don't do it, okay? Other thing is availability of data. Do you have a good data? Facts, not assumptions, do it. If you don't have that, don't do it. If it is very important to you, do it. If it's not that much important, don't do it. Of course, the important aspect is it is cost versus benefit. If the cost is higher than the benefit, there's no reason to do it. If it is the cost is higher than the benefit is higher than the cost, do it. So this is what you have to do. This I already talked about, so I don't want to really talk about it, but like there's a distinct aspect as a manager, you have to give access to the people. The one thing that I want to talk about is like, don't be afraid to give like your financial statements and products, like things very sensitive to you, to the researcher, because a lot of time when I did that kind of job, people are really not willing to give me that because that impacts them. They don't want to know, they want to give some stranger where they're standing in terms of finance, but that can change my decision, the outcome in the end, because you don't have that enough money to pay for this aspect, you can do it. So it is important to give it, but the thing is like, if you're afraid of people, first of all, you have to sign MOA with a person. Like you have to do this legal aspect of it to keep your information away. Do that and then share the information as a manager. And the researcher have to give you the results that you want. So that is the way it is. Yeah, I think I don't want to really keep you with this. There's advantage, disadvantage. We already talked about it. As a manager, the last thing that I want to say is don't feel that the researcher is a trait for you. They come say like, oh, your marketing, your business plan is not good. You have to change your business plan. That would be like the thing that I would suggest as a researcher. Don't get offended because he said like that. He said that because of like, read the whole data, the whole report, everything that they give you, the data, and go with that. It's like a lot of time managers have a problem because they felt the researchers have the personal trait because they were going to tell them like, this is not wrong, this is right, this is that. So be open and understand the purpose of why you have to do a marketing research, because a lot of startups are failing in their early stage. They're not going up because they know what they want, but they don't know what the customer wants. If you don't know what the customer wants, you're gonna fail, and I don't want you to fail. That's it.